So all are okay to start. So we are talking about the BPPV maneuvers and what goes wrong and why it goes wrong. So many things, basics we have to understand when you are doing BPPV. First, we all know the history, how it goes. Rotational vertigo, when they are in the bed for a few seconds, mainly in the early morning, it is there. And the mechanism also we know. The particles are in the utricle and they get going via the crus commune and they get trapped into the posterior canal. That is the commonest canal which is involved. So now something about this autoconia. See this autoconia, they are in the on the utricle. So how is the utricle? So this is the utricle. In the base, you have the macula, and on that, these autoconias are attached. So this is how the orientation is there. These are the sections of the rat utricle. This is the utricle, and so you can see this dot 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 dot. So these are all the autoconias. And when they have done the study, they have seen that in the younger rat, the autoconias are smaller in size. As the age go, they get mature and they become a bigger in size. So what happened? There are links and they get break because of they becoming bigger and then they get fall. So they are getting fall and they are in the utricular endolymph and all the canals are there where they can go. So many theses are there. There's a calcium channel, there's a calcium metabolism or genetic is there or age-wise maturation is there which can give or any ischemias. So all your patient of labyrinthitis also are the person who may get in future BPPVs. So we all are well oriented with this because we are ENT surgeon, but we are not oriented because in these patients we are not actually seeing how the particles are moving. So we have to make the model. So this is model made by me and Amrapali. So the model is here. We can have a look at it. How the model goes, I am just giving a brief on that. So this is the posterior canal and this is the horizontal canal. So now the commonest position will be here for the posterior canal because of gravity. In the anterior canal, if they are stuck, they will be there at the ampullary end. But in lateral canal, they will be in midway. Why? Because the canal is not like this, it is bit inclined. So the particle will settle near the mid-arm or toward the utricular end. Many things we have to understand when we are doing the maneuver. First is get orientation. We cannot move the particle unless the canal is in vertical plane. So we understand that posterior canal is 45 degree and the anterior canal is just 15 degree. Lateral canal is like this, but it is tilted up, minimal at angle. So before doing the maneuvers or the even examination, we have to get canal aligned. So how do we do? So this is how the canal is there. So you turn the patient 45-degree head. So now they are in vertical and then you do the head hanging. So the canal will go in a proper vertical and the gravity will act. So that is why you have to get oriented that canal to move the maneuver or to do to move the particles. What force you are using to deliver the particle out is very important. Sometimes we are using gravitational force, sometimes we are using angular acceleration force. Gravity force will take at least 30 to 40 minutes, 40 seconds for the particles to settle. So you have to hold the position for 30 to 40 seconds. If you are just doing and moving from here to here, you can't because let the force act, let the particles gravitate down. For angular, you have to be quick. When you want to move the particle from this to this side, you have to be quick enough. Then because of inertia, the particles are there, but the canal has moved and they become on the other side. So many of your maneuvers will be pure gravitational force or angular force or combination of these two. We have to understand which force are we giving, then you will do the maneuver properly. Other is cupula orientation. Generally we think the cupula is a close here. No, it is not close. The cupula is like a diaphragm. So, see this is the diaphragm. It is complete diaphragm. So this is endolymph, this is also endolymph from the utricle side, but they are not getting mixed here. So if the particle is attached and suppose particle is strangulated here, we can move the particle only by this side, right? And this particle once in the utricle, it can be there on this side also. So this is called ampulla divided to the arm, that is long arm, and we have a short arm. Understand this concept is very important. In the posterior canal, this is the long arm. The particle can be in a long arm, but the particle can be in this short arm also. And therefore, we have different interpretation of disc Hallpike. Second is about the stereocilia. How this? This is a kinocilium, which is the longer one, and then there are small stereocilia. When the stereocilia is bent on this long side, what happens? This gate opens up, and then that gives action potential. So if the movement of fluid is away or toward this kinocilium, then there will be excitation. And when it is opposite, then it will shut the channels and there will be inhibition. So accordingly, you will understand whether you are getting excitatory nystagmus or inhibitory nystagmus. Now, the kinocilium in posterior canal is away from utricle. This is utricle, this is on away from utricle. So the fluid moving away from utricle will be excitatory. But in horizontal canal, the kinocilium is toward the utricle. So the fluid moving toward the utricle will be excitatory. Got it? Now next concept is the position of otolith. Now the otolith can be at different places. The commonest position we know in posterior canal is near this long arm, near the cupula, but they are canalolithiasis. That means they are in the canal, they are free floating. Now, this is one position. Other position can be on the cupula toward the long arm side. So they are stuck to the cupula. They are not free floating. Third position, they can be from the short arm, maybe in the free floating. So this is canalolithiasis of the short arm. And if they are stuck to the cupula, they will be cupulolithiasis, but particle on the short arm or utricle side. And third is at the crus commune. At the crus commune, they may get jam, and again they will give some other kind of nystagmus. So the test you do is disc Hallpike. Everybody know disc Hallpike. What you do? You take the patient 45 degree and head hanging. So what happened? These particles will take first the example of the canalolithiasis. What everybody knows, what happens and how the things are going. So the particles are in the canal free floating. You take the patient in 45 degree, down head hanging. You are waiting for at least 40 seconds. The particle will start moving because of gravity. And they will come till this point. Got it? So the drag of the particle will be first, and then they will drift the fluid. So after 10 seconds, you get this starting of nystagmus. Why latency? Because the particle will first move and then they will pull the fluid. So there is a deflection of kinocilium and will be excitatory. So the characteristic you will have is latency. Then what happens? The particle will go and will settle here. So they will have crescendo and then the particles are settling down. So you have decrescendo type of nystagmus. So this nystagmus is high and then slowly will be low and then it will stop. After this, now when you get the patient back up, the particles were here, they will come this side, so they will be giving opposite side nystagmus and inhibitory. One more concept, excitatory is stronger one, inhibitory are lesser intensity. So when you go down, you will get a strong nystagmus. When you take the patient back up, what you will get? Inhibitory. So one which was right beating in the down position now becomes left beating and less intense. If you see this, you are done with it. It is canalolithiasis. Definitely go ahead for Apelles, everything, whatever you know best, it will work. So we have in generally Apelles and Simond maneuver for this. They will work. Now, there are other interpretation we are going to talk. This is the simplest one. Now, suppose if the particle attached to the cupula from the long arm side. So now, you are taking the patient to the 45 degree head hanging in disc Hallpike. Are the particles free floating? No. Will there be latency? No latency. And they are attached to directly cupula. Excitation will be so strong. You will have dhad beating nystagmus. And that nystagmus will not stop in 40 seconds because it is not getting released from the cupula. So the nystagmus will go on for more than 1 minute, and that is classical. You will see if the particle attached to the cupula. Got it? How is the nystagmus? Same right beating. Because again there is a deflection away from utricle of the cupula. So the nystagmus remains same. I'll take example of right posterior canal so that everybody will understand the same. So in first what we had, right side, dis alpha latency, crescendo decrescendo nystagmus stopping in 40 seconds. On getting it is reversal, less intensity. That was your canal lithiasis. In cupulo, no latency. Stronger nystagmus, more than 1 minute. On getting up, it is deflected to the opposite side. So you have reversible nystagmus, inhibitory nystagmus, still bit stronger than normal one, but not as compared to the one which you saw below. You got it? Interpretation is different, your diagnosis is different, maneuvers will be different. I should go for the maneuver there and there itself, it will be easy. Okay. So for this, we are doing Apelles maneuver. Apelles maneuver, how will you do? It will be difficult, I guess. No, it will be difficult. I think I'll just So it will be for cupule lithiasis, down, no latency, stronger nystagmus, more than 1 minute. When you get up, there will be reversible nystagmus, opposite side. Now our third position, particles are onto the utricle side. Right? I am talking about these particles. We have short arm and free floating and cupule lithiasis. So these particles, when you do this, again they will go toward the cupula. How is the deflection? Away from utricle. So what you will get again? Right beating nystagmus only on dis halpae. But see, utricle is a bigger cavity. So the impulse is very less. You will see a feeble nystagmus. It will stop in say 40 seconds. On getting up, now you will not get reversible nystagmus. You have utricle and you have macula here. So what happened? The particle will go to the macula of utricle. What is utricle for? Utricle is for acceleration and deceleration movement. So patient get truncal percussion. Very rarely, I think you must have seen that when you do dis halpae, nothing. But you get the patient up and the patient is not able to balance because stimulation of macula. So this is your third interpretation for same dis halpae. Fourth one, the particles are attached to the cupula, but from the utricle side. What happened? You will get a nystagmus. Not that strong, but still it will be a long duration nystagmus, more than 1 minute. And when you get the patient up, you get a truncal percussion or non-reversible nystagmus. If it is right beating on dis halpae, on getting up it is again right beating. Many times the utricle nystagmuses are very feeble and you have to have VNG to see the nystagmus. Very rarely we can see naked eyes. You have to understand and do accordingly. So we have fourth interpretation for the same dis halpae, what you do. Now the fifth one. Fifth is particles are at the crus commune. You take the patient down. Now where the particles are going? Toward the ampulla. So it is inhibitory nystagmus. So on taking dis halpae, now you are getting, instead of right beating, you get left beating nystagmus. You know particles are in the posterior canal, but they are at the crus commune. And when you get the patient up, you get reversible nystagmus. That means toward the right side. So it is very important to understand the disc halpae maneuver, 5 different positions, 5 different interpretation. You have 5 different ways of removing these particles. So it is up beating for posterior canal, down beating for anterior canal. Up beat means toward the forehead. You will see nystagmus like this. Right and up beating. Torsional. And in anterior canal it will be a down beating. Right, like this. And reversibility. So this you have to see when you are doing the test for disc halpae, lateral canal and other things also. So these are all tests for lateral canal. For posterior canal we have disc halpae. For lateral canal we have supine roll test. For anterior canal deep head hanging test. I will show now Apelles how it looks. With this position, now the particles will be start moving out of this ampullary end
toward the summit area. We have to hold this position for 40 seconds for the particles to reach the summit area. Once the particle reach to the summit area, we can turn the head to the opposite side. Here, the gravitational force was acting and they will take the particle to the summit. Now, tilt the head and go to the opposite side. So now, the particle will be acted upon by further gravity and they will start moving out of the summit area into the non-ampullary arm of the posterior canal. We can see the particles are moving, but we have to wait for 40 seconds. That is the time taken by the particles to move out of the desired position. Now, after waiting for 40 seconds, we can turn the head and tilt the patient on lateral position. So, we are going to tilt the lateral position, nose pointing down, and the particles will start again moving because of gravity and they will go into the crus commune area. So the particles from here, they have traveled all the way till here and we have used gravitational force to drag the particle out of the crus commune. Once it is like this, we have to keep the head flexion and then make the patient sit up and then the particle will fall out of the crus commune into the utricle and we will treat the BPPV of the posterior canal.
सर आराम से रहे चिंता नहीं कर.
See, you can see with naked eyes.
बेफिक्र.
See, it is left beating and up beating. You understand the postural component? Yeah.
रुका. आराम से रहे. गर्दन ढीला छोड़. मेरे हाथ पे
Every
छोड़.
time
बस.
hold the head of the patient firmly because for patient is
ढीला छोड़ो.
he get
Very good.
and he just move his head by his own. So you have to hold the head tightly.
लिफ्ट पोजीशन ये बजा दे.
आया
करना किधर है?
And every time the patient will also see. So you will have reactions and you will know that he will say there is a nystagmus, there is a giddiness. For you into the nystagmus which is there.
अभी जो कपड़ा बदलना है पूरा 1 करोड़ पे आना है.
हाँ.
चलो पहला बॉडी टर्न करो. बॉडी टर्न करो. हाँ, उस तरफ. यस. चलो घूम जा. नहीं इसने करोड़ पे लेटे होना है बस. सर नहीं घुमाना बॉस. उल्टा मत कर. इसमें घुमा. कहाँ है अपने कुछ और एक बनाना पड़ेगा.
I think I'll go for the further
पोजीशन ऐसे रहेगी. ऐसे उठ के बैठना है. गर्दन का पोजीशन यही रहेगा.
to
ठीक
the
है.
shoulder, keep and then you get up. So the particle will not go and attach to the crus commune side. Again hold the head after coming. I'll show you other case the importance of holding the head. It's reaching. So now the other, I'll just go for the other how to go. So you understand this, that is Apelles maneuver. Everywhere you have to wait for at least 40 seconds. Second is I told you about the Simont maneuver. In Simont maneuver, if it is the right side, you turn the head to right 45, you are going, no, that is for Simont. For Simont, you turn the head to opposite side, you take it the patient like this. Then suddenly you will take an accelerationary force. First is the gravitational. So wait for 40 seconds and then you will take the patient to the opposite side bed. The forehead should touch the bed. This is the acceleration. So the particles are now from the ampullary side to the non-ampullary to the other side. And then you wait for 40 seconds. And then you get the patient up. It will fall into the utricle. So these are two maneuvers for your canal lithiasis. For Apelles, you will do brisk Apelles, same Apelles, but you will do fast. And there is a thrust. What you do in Apelles? Take the patient down, 45-degree head hanging, turn to opposite side, turn the patient, get the patient up. Everything is fast. And there has to be dash. With this, the particles will get detached from the cupula and they will come out. You have to do this maneuver at least 5 times. At that time, if it is relieved, check it. If it is not relieved, ask the patient to do it every day in the morning. Got it? So this is for your second, that is cupulolithiasis, long arm. What was that? Down, right, and on getting up, reversible. Very strong, more than 1 minute. The particles are from utricle side. Both can be relieved again by brisk epilae, but from opposite side. Because the particles are on utricle side. How do you know? The nystagmus is non-reversible on getting up. That was the utricle side, or utricular stimulation was there when you are doing dyshalpakia. You will do only brisk epilae, but from the opposite side. Understood? Not understood? Fine. And for cupulolithiasis, for the crus commune particle, that fifth one, you are doing modified Guffoni. If it is right side, having dyshalpakia will be going opposite side nystagmus, that is away from the ground. That is what is the only nystagmus in posterior canal, that is ageotropic we can call. So you turn the patient toward the ground and the particle will settle down. They will directly go from the other side and they will fall. That is what is the modified Guffoni maneuver used for this. I'll just show you one good picture, one video only. See, this patient had all the possibles and one sitting only. Very long videos. So this patient was having bilateral BPPV. After 7 days, I went for other side. Here, dyshalpakia was positive. Then I checked. Again, there was positive, but it was ageotropic. So the particles didn't come out of here. They came. They get jammed at the crus commune level. So I did modified Guffoni for this patient. So this was right. This AGO modified Guffoni was there. Then the particles are relieved to the utricle, and it becomes short arm. Again, I had a short arm kind of nystagmus. Then again, I relieved it from the brisk epilae from opposite side. And then the disc was done, the disc was negative. So every time you do the maneuver, you always recheck. There is no harm. We have the belief, if you again take the patient, you will have again the particle going into, no, it doesn't go. Because how is that posterior canal? Crus commune is like this goal fold. When you take it down, but when the head is turned 45 degree, this is shifted, no? Your particles from utricle will be at this side. They will not go in your this posterior canal again. So this patient, again, severe nystagmus, it was straightforward canal lithiasis. I did the maneuver, Epile's maneuver, and done. Second time I was rechecking it. So recheck.
मानमध्ये थांबवायचे. चला इकडे खाली इथे बघा.
No nystagmus. That means the particle are moved out of that side.
आहे का चक्कर?
And see what happened. So now I am just reflushing and getting the patient up.
मान चिटकून ठेवा खांद्याला.
Look at this now.
उठा 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 टाइट से.
Why? Particles were in utricle and the utricle stimulation. Is it your failure? No, it is not your failure. It is done rightly. Particles were in utricle only, so they could stimulate the utricle macula, no? And this patient was hold the head. That is what I am telling you, the importance of holding the head firmly for any maneuver. And this is again उसका ही patient का final which is negative. Because I told her now I will not do any maneuvers. I have done, I have rechecked. You come after 2 days and then I will see nothing is there even on down position and even when she gets up.
Yeah.
So there was no truncal percussion.
Side is open. His side is.
And always have a habit of recording. You ask the relative, train him. It takes 2 minutes. Ask them to focus on the eyeball, only on the vessels, and you will get the nystagmus. All these different kind of nystagmus I got it when I was just doing recording and again seeing. If I'm not solved, I have to see why I'm not solved. Then you are going to get the other maneuvers perfect. So you will come across some patient who is having different picture on dyshalpakia and you will keep on doing epilepsy from same side. It doesn't work. And therefore you have 80% success rate. But if you know the maneuvers properly, 100% is possible. That's it. Chalo. The model is there. Everybody can just have a look at the model and see how the particles are going. I think we'll start with the other session. Next.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. I would like to call the chairperson to felicitate the sir.